one.
Than a game. It will always be about more than basketball. More than.
And okay, this is More Than a Game podcast. I'm your host, Tim Wilshire, with the great Andre Moore, also known as the A-Train.
Go, the A-Train! My man, how you doing? Look, I brought you something.
There you go. So, welcome along to episode number 8. First of all, we'd like to pay our tributes to the owners of the original land. So that's what we like to do at the start of each podcast. So,
right.
Yeah. So how have you been, Andre, anyway?
Pretty good, man. Yeah. Much respect to the original owners, like you just said, of the land we're gathered on today. You in New Zealand and me here in sunny Brisbane, which is a little
sunny? Is it sunny there today?
A little bit overcast, but sun's been breaking in and out. You know how they say Queensland. Was it sunny one day and beautiful the next? Is that how it goes?
Yes, that is how it goes. Today, the last couple of days, we've actually had a bit of snow, believe it or not. So the snow's back. So that's interesting.
Back to my Chi-Town roots, yeah. Chicago.
Okay, so Chicago. Where do you want to start with this today, Andre? Do you want to start with, I guess, training camp notes, anything like that you've sort of seen injured?
What I really want to start with is have a little bit of fun with you right here. I can throw this on you. Let's play a quick game of A to Z, if we see how we go with this. A to Z, naming basketball players. We go back and forth, A to Z.
Okay.
We start off, just see how we're going brain-wise with naming players. Just any players from in college or maybe let's stick with NBA guys. Yeah, I'll start off with Antetokounmpo.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, you go B. You got to go B. We go back and forth.
We're talking the Greek Freak.
Pardon me? No, you don't understand how the game goes. I go name someone with the letter A, then you go B, and I go C.
Okay, B is for we're going to go with.
Got to keep this going quickly, man, because we want to get stuck in brain teaser.
Yeah, okay. We'll just start. We'll just go Bradley Beal.
Okay. Oh yeah, you get double points for that, Bradley Beal.
Yep.
So we go past. We go current and past players.
Yep.
So I'll go Chris Jackson. C.
Chris Jackson. D. Yeah. We'll go with D. We'll go with.
You got to go straight away with it.
Donovan Mitchell.
D, A, B, C, D, E. Let's go with Elvin Hayes.
We're going to go with Fred VanVleet.
G, I'm going to go with George Gervin. We go on first or last name, the Iceman.
H, we're going to go with Halliburton.
Halliburton, okay, cool.
Halliburton. Yeah.
I'll go with, Aussie flavor, Joe Ingles.
Okay, J, so many J's, but today we're going to go with Joel Embiid.
So K.
There we go. So that's my little Joel Embiid sound drop.
Right.
K.
Yeah, so I got K. I went with K. Bernard King, one of the greatest.
One of the greatest of all time.
Right.
And then we're up to L.
Yep.
We'll go Levine.
Oh, Levine, the Bulls. We're going to talk about them a little later too. How well they put together a pretty good squad this year too. So that's good. This is a good segue for that. Yeah. So L M. Let's go with and also for L, I'll give you some. I'll go with your L again too. We'll go Leroy Loggins. My guy Leroy Loggins.
Yeah, of course. N, I was just thinking about N. What's a good N one? I mean, I can't. Jesus.
Oh, M. We'll go with so many M's, man. We can go with.
So you're M. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah. I just got in on your L. I want to give a shout out to Leroy Loggins, my old teammate, the legend himself. So M would go with Michael Thompson, who's Klay Thompson's dad. He was one of my favorite players back when I was a young schoolboy. He was playing college ball for Minnesota. So close for Michael Thompson. Shout out to Michael Thompson. Mychal.
Yeah. Okay. My N. We're going to go with. We can go with a couple of Nates, but Nate Tiny Archibald.
Nate Tiny Archibald. Okay, yes.
Or Nate Robinson, who got, the podium. Anyway.
Only player to lead the league in both scoring and assists.
Yeah. Oh, that's a pretty easy one for you.
Oh, of course.
The big O?
Oscar Robinson, the big O. Mr. Triple Double. Well, used to be Mr. Triple Double. Now that Mr. Westbrook is kind of taking over that mantle. Yeah.
Okay. So for P, I'm going with Porzingis.
Porzingis, okay. Q, I'm going to go with Quentin Richardson. Chicago boy. Q Richardson. Quentin Richardson. Shout out.
Quentin Richardson. I think he's got his own podcast, actually.
He does. He and Darius Miles, who we're going to talk about as well, about a big scandal that's taking place in the NBA as well with the Medicare system over there.
Okay.
Retired players. We'll talk about that as well.
Okay. R, I'm going to go so many different R's, but I'll go with Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert, the big fella, the Stifle Tower.
Okay.
Ooh, smack that stuff up out of there. He sends more rejection slips than a Centrelink office.
S.
Who are we going to go with S? We haven't named any of the superstars as well too. We have named a few superstars, but S. I'll go with. I'm gonna go old school and obscure. Lonnie Shelton, he was a big power forward, played for the Seattle SuperSonics back in the '70s when they won a championship. Lonnie Shelton, may he rest in peace, big fella.
T. We can go with. I'm going to go with Tatum.
Jason Tatum, yeah.
Would have gone with Towns, but I'll go with Tatum.
Expecting a big year out of him too with the Celtics as well.
Yep.
STU. One of the reasons I wear the number 41, Wes Unseld. Big fella just passed away a few years ago. He was one of the meanest guys. I think he was voted, or he was named one of the only guys that actually intimidated the great Wilt Chamberlain.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Wes Unseld, number 41. My number is well too.
I'm going with I'm going with a number 2 draft pick, going way back to about 1998, I think. Keith Van Horn.
Van Horn, man. He came in, with great hype. He had a pretty decent career though, too. He was pretty smooth, big fella, man. Yeah. Big fella was pretty cool. I like the old Keith Van Horn. Where we at? W. Okay, W. Let's go with Walt Williams. We'll go W. Walt Williams played for Maryland, what they call Maryland over here. We call it American Maryland.
Also, he was nickname was Wizard, I think.
The Wizard. Right. He was a really smooth ball handler, pretty tall guard. Yeah, Walt Wizard. Double points for me right there.
Okay. I'm going with Xavier McDaniel.
That's the only X you could go with. That's an easy one there. Xavier McDaniels. Yeah, Xavier. Why? Who we got for why? I will go with...
I've already picked my Z out.
Why will be... Ooh, this is coming. Why? Because I need this answer quickly so we can move on. Let's go with Trey Young, the Iceman.
Yeah, that's
Ice Trey. Trey Young. There we go.
The Ice Trey. So this is my guy that I'm picking for the Z. Zion.
Zion, yes. I like that. How cool is that, man? That's well done. I just threw that game at you, man. You did pretty well with that, man. I love playing A to Z. I love playing any kind of games that sort of exercise the mind. So that was a great exercise, man. Thanks for playing along.
That's cool, man.
A to Z.
Okay. So what's
A to Z in America? Yeah. Okay.
What have you got next? What do you want to talk about next?
Oh, yeah. We want to talk about training camp or
training camp. So what have you seen in training camp so far? Is there any sort of players that have stood out to you or teams or?
Didn't watch a lot of training camp, but from what I heard, the Bulls are the talk of the town. The Bulls, the Chicago Bulls, with their new refurbished lineup of Levine, DeRozan, Vukovic, a very improved Lonzo Ball, and then who else is in their lineup? And they also have
Caruso.
The Caruso show is coming to Chicago, which I'm very happy to hear. So they're the talk of the town right now. They've done pretty good in the preseason so far as well too.
Yeah, Patrick Williams is coming back from an injury, so. What do you think about the lineup of putting DeMar DeRozan at power forward?
I think it's an advantage for him with his quickness and his versatility. He's gonna wreak havoc for those bigger power forwards trying to guard him. Defensively, I think he's still strong enough to hold his own on the other end of the court too as well. So I kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's a proven grizzled veteran at this stage of his career now too. So I think he'll hold his own. He'll do really well. Yeah, at that position. In my opinion, my humble opinion.
Yeah, no, I do like the core of the team. I hope they can get a bit more depth as well. But they have the makings of. They're a team that certainly could make a run into the playoffs. That's for sure.
At least a 6 or 7 seeds, especially with the Kyrie situation. That I've heard today that Kyrie, the Nets have told him, "Yeah, you're either all in or not or out."
These things come to a head. I mean, we read. I don't know if you read about a few weeks ago with the whole Andrew Wiggins situation that he was going to be one that was not going to get vaccinated, and then it was like, okay, well, you can't play if you're not vaccinated, so he made the decision to play. So, do you think Kyrie Irving is he too stubborn, or do you think he will do the right thing?
I think the proper word for Kyrie is eccentric. He's very eccentric. I think he's gonna stick to his guns with this. But I'm very happy to hear that the team is not going to capitulate to his needs, and they've already laid down the gauntlet. They have the advantage. We don't play the full season. You don't get vaccinated. You don't play the full season. We don't want you half part-time. We want you full all in. I just read that today. So that's the latest reports on that situation. Sean Marks, who's from New Zealand, who's the general manager, he was quoted as saying.
He was actually the first. He was actually the first New Zealander that was actually drafted in the NBA. Did you know that?
Yeah. Great bit of trivia there. Yeah, very good bit of trivia.
I got that one. It wasn't Steve Adams. It was. We just said his name. Yeah. So.
With Sean Marks here, they've set down. They've laid down. So it's up to him. The ball is literally and figuratively in Kyrie's court now.
Yeah. I mean, what sort of year do you reckon the Slim Reaper KD's going to have? This is the Slim Reaper music.
Outstanding, because he's just a ball. He's a walking bucket. So he'll unless he gets God forbid he doesn't get hurt, he'll have a great year. He'll lead. And then I'm expecting big things from the beard as well too.
The beard's going to have a big year, I think. Unless something happens, he's going to have a huge year. They've got a lot of core guys around them. I like what I've seen from guys like Millsap.
Yeah, Millsap in there. Who else they bring? They brought someone else.
Marcus is back.
Marcus is I'm really happy for him. He's overcome his injury woes. Then he had some of those guys from last year. Some of the young guys, got to have another year under their belt. They'll be even more experienced. The big kid with the blonde.
Claxton. Yeah.
Yeah, that kid, and then the undersized power forward guy. Bruce. What's his name? Bruce. Who's in the starting lineup? What's his name?
Bruce Bowen.
No, Bowen. Bruce Bowen is from the San Antonio.
Brown. Bruce Brown. Sorry.
Bruce Brown. Right. He's one of those utility guys. He's like a Swiss Army knife type guy on their court.
He's great.
Really liked his game, man. So they're going to be good. They're going to be good. With or without Kyrie, they're going to still be right there. I mean, last year they were only a little baby toe, a toe step away from beating the eventual champions, the Milwaukee Bucks. If what's the name? KD's shot, his foot was right on the toe. We all know what happened here. Yeah. So they're right. They're gonna be good. That was without Kyrie as well too, and they only had a 40% beard too because he was hurt. I mean, he was still coming back from injury. Yeah. So they're gonna be good.
So I guess Milwaukee still. I mean, they obviously look pretty. I was watching a bit of a game of Milwaukee's the other day. They look like they're still really, really good.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah,
I'd say. I mean, I'm surprised they're not more to the favourites to win it. They look great.
They'll just quietly roll along and do what they do, and
But it'll be interesting to see how they go. I mean, they've added that Grayson Allen. I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah. He's a good addition to them. I mean, he's kind of calmed this game down. He had a really bad reputation back in college. He's a bit of a dirty type dude, dirty type player.
Yeah,
But
I remember.
Very talented. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's quite good. I'm not sure. I don't think Toronto are going to do too well. I still think they're going to. I've been watching a few Toronto games, and they just don't look like they're. That was an accident. That one.
I can see. I can hear. Yeah.
That one was an ESPN accident.
They lost the heart and soul of their team with Kyle Lowry going down to Miami, which was a great pickup for them.
Oh, great pickup for them. Certainly lost a lot. I think that's going to help Miami quite a lot, isn't it?
And bouncing back to the Nets, we can't not speak about the great pickup they made from over here in Australia with Patty Mills. He's a great insurance policy for if Kyrie's not there.
Yeah, that's great. He's going to have a fairly good role, I think, as well. Our boy Mills. So
great insurance policy with all the Kyrie shenanigans. Yes, they are shenanigans. Yeah.
Yeah, no, look. So I guess what other teams are sort of piqued your interest, I guess, in the preseason training camp?
Well, the Lakers. The Lakers, they're so many grizzled veterans. At this stage, and LeBron was quoted as saying that training camp. Preseason games are not really on their mind. They're not really. They've been there, done it too many times.
Yeah. So LeBron James, I just got a little sound drop. Hang on.
This is our little LeBron. Hey, LeBron.
Yeah.
Little French fella.
Little LeBron.
Yeah, I was against him at first, but the missus here's a real soft spot for prima donnas. Will never be as good as Jordan.
Did you get all that?
Yes, I did.
It's out of the movie We Are the Millers. I don't know if you ever watched it.
Yeah, the Millers, right. That was a good movie. Yeah, very funny. Yeah.
So they got him, and then also with helping out LeBron will be AD.
AD, Melo, Westbrook.
I will haunt my dreams.
you really went in on with the sound drops.
That's out of this new Space Jam movie. They said, look what they did to my boy AD.
Yeah, I know. I remember that. That was a good movie. I love that movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So those two, they're going to have to be healthy most of the year, I think, for them to have a good chance. So far, we've seen our THTs out injured. Trevor Ariza also is going to miss some time. So two of the key guys, I think, in the rotation not going to be there. So it's going to be interesting to see who has to step up. And what I've seen so far is Westbrook has sort of it'll take him a while, I think, to get him involved. And we're seeing a lot of turnovers from Westbrook in the preseason. I know it's not the real season, but there's a few concerns early, but we'll see what happens.
He turns it over. He's pretty turnover prone every year. So. But the other stuff he brings to the table will benefit the Lakers. So there's not a lot. I don't think there's a lot of concern, and the ball will be in LeBron's hands quite a bit. When it comes down to the nitty gritty. Yeah. So there's no concerns there about Westbrook. Just run the floor, do what you do, bring that energy. He's bringing that energy, and it's gonna be all good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think so. Hopefully, I think they're going to have some tough periods during the year, but it'll just depend how they sort of come together toward the end of the season, and that's a key for a team like the Lakers. They've got to end up in the top 3 or 4 to have a good chance, and they need to be all healthy sort of come the end of the season. And Carmelo Anthony, it's going to be interesting to see how he sort of goes there as well.
Yeah.
But something to certainly look at, and exciting to see them all play together.
Yeah, I know. Now the Warriors beat another day in the preseason, which I said this is not really. That's not really telling anything. But the Warriors they look like they might be all right too. Steph is looking pretty ready to go.
Yeah, I think they are. I think one guy that's going to have a big year, I think, is Jordan Poole. I think he's
been a talker. Yeah, he's been another big topic as well in the preseason.
Yeah, don't be surprised if he scores 20 plus points a game. I think he's certainly one to. he could be one of those candidates for most improved player as well. So
right, similar to the kid from Utah, the guy from Utah last year. Oh, no, he was sixth man of the year. I'm thinking about the sixth man.
Put him on your list though for possible candidates. Clarkson, certainly an obvious.
Yeah, Clarkson, I was thinking about Clarkson. Yeah,
certainly an obvious one. He was a couple of sixth man of the years. Clarkson there. In England.
Right.
So yeah, Utah haven't changed. Utah, they haven't changed too much. I don't think. I mean, they've they've got that. I like that rookie Jared Butler. I'm not sure if you've seen him at all.
No, I haven't. No. What position is he at?
Shooting guard, small forward, just a wing.
Okay. He's playing well.
Playing well in the preseason. We'll probably make the rotation, I think.
All right.
So look out for him. I mean, Hassan Whiteside, I'm not sure what to expect there. I don't think he'll get a lot of minutes. I think Rudy Gobert will get most of the minutes at center.
Yeah.
So that's Utah. What other teams have made a lot of? I mean, Miami. Do you want to talk a bit about Miami? What do you think about?
A lot of grit. A lot of tough guys down there. With, Bam and Lowry, and Bam, Lowry, and Butler alone. That's a lot of Pat Riley type dudes. Pat Riley type tough guys.
I think our boy Jimmy Buckets. I think he needs to have another big year. Bam Adebayo, I think he'll have a good year as well.
Yeah.
And Lowry. So those three guys, should be.
Did they keep their shooters? They still got their shooters down there.
Still got Duncan Robinson.
Duncan's still there. And what about the kid from Kentucky?
I'll tell you who's going to have a bounce back year, and that's Tyler Hero. So
yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Hero. So Hero's still there. Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler Hero sort of didn't improve much in his second year, but I think sometimes that happens, and I think that you might find a bit more room to manoeuvre in the third year. But I think they're a really good team. They should be really considered the top 4 or 5 in the East as well.
Yeah, they call it a sophomore slump. Tyler, when he went from sophomore slump, yeah. So he needs to probably get a bit stronger as well too. Hope he's been hitting the weight room, Because that's the one flaw I saw in his game. Didn't seem real strong,
Okay.
Or physical enough.
And what about the New York Knicks? Obviously, their changes to their team. They obviously got Kemba Walker and also Evan Fournier in the backcourt with RJ Barrett.
Yeah, they're going to be pretty good. They'll be pretty good. They're going to make some noise.
I think that's an upgrade. And you got to remember, this is a team that sort of ended up 4th or 5th in the East last year.
Right.
So they don't want to go backwards, and I think in order to stay where they are, it's what they did. They need these sort of guys, and I think it's smart to be able to pick up the guys that they have picked up.
Right. So we're kind of going back and forth between the West and the East, West Coast, East Coast. So how about the Philadelphia 76ers? Their plight, their saga.
We don't know exactly. Let's talk about Ben Simmons. Let's talk about Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons. Now, I'm not sure if you sort of looked at Ben Simmons, but he does remind me of there was a TV show.
Uh-huh.
This is a story all about how my life got
Fresh Prince from Bel Air.
I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air.
His nickname's the Fresh Prince.
Yeah. It's a tongue twister. Yeah.
Yeah. So
how does he remind you of that?
He just looks like there's a bit of a I don't know.
Oh, just physically, yeah. Physically speaking. I thought you were talking about his story, his whole story.
No. So what do you think he sat out all this time? They're trying to trade him. A very difficult situation to trade.
Right.
And then all of a sudden we hear in the last couple of days that he's got on a plane and he's going to turn up to the facility where they all.
He's already back. He's back now. He's already back. He's had his COVID test. Now he has to have a few days of quarantine. He'll be back on board. It's all about money, I'm sure Rich Paul, his manager, told him, hey, we gotta get you back. Plus, he needs to be. They know he needs to be visible, be seen to be doing the right thing, playing so he can have get his trade value back up to scratch. Because right now his trade value is at all-time low.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I've got to show you something. Yeah. I've got to show you a funny picture. Hang on, I'm just going to show you this
okay.
About Ben Simmons. So he's dated actually more women than he's made 3-pointers in the NBA.
Well, he's done pretty good for himself right there too, man. Yeah, I ain't mad. I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him right there.
I thought that was appropriate, but
when there's that's very interesting. Very interesting.
It is true though. But then the same thing said. Then the comment I made after that was someone like Wilt Chamberlain probably never made a 3-pointer, but slept with about 80,000 women. So
he said 20. You said 20,000.
20,000, whatever it was. So Ben Simmons, so he's turned up. What do you think is going to happen here? Do you think he's going to end up playing some games for Philly, or what do you think is going to happen here?
I think I would say I'm hoping so. I've been posting on social media how I really hope that he's able to have an amicable reconciliation with the club, which sees him sort of he's obviously going to have thick skin and block out some of the fan noise. The fan base is going to be, if he does suit up and all that, they're going to be giving it to him. You have to just become stronger mentally, just stronger mentally. Just seem to be working on his game, working on free throw shooting. Try to at least attempt a couple 3-pointers, a game. Even if he doesn't make them, people will love just seeing him attempting the 3-pointers, because it shows he's proactive.
Well, that's exactly right.
Yeah, so that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping just sort of don't get in there. Just be a professional. Just be a professional as you can.
And there's definitely some opportunity for some other guys on that team if it doesn't work out, if he does get traded. But I think there's a lot of what ifs at the moment. So I don't know if
it is. Yeah, we can't. We don't speculate. Right now.
Yeah, I don't want to sort of speculate too much. There's only one thing we really know for sure with Philadelphia, and that's Joel Embiid will turn up and he'll play as many minutes as he can.
Yeah. Hopefully he can stay healthy as well too. We can't. With all this Ben Simmons talk, we forget about other guys like Tobias Harris. He got to step his game up too.
Yeah,
Tobias Harris had a great year. He had a great year last year.
Yeah, I think.
Playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. He's certainly he's a bit like he's a bit like the Middleton of the team in a way that people don't talk about him as much. And
he gets kind of
really an all-star caliber player.
Exactly. He needs to play like that. I think Maxi's hurt though. Young kid Maxi's he got hurt the other day. So he was going to have a promising 2021 campaign. So hopefully he gets well pretty quickly. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
We know Danny Green and Seth Curry, both guys are good role players as well. So I think those guys, there's Philadelphia just need to see what happens with him.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's what other teams are there in the East that we haven't really talked about.
Indiana was
a couple of injuries already. I think we had an injury to TJ Warren.
Oh right, okay, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah. He's out for a while, and I think, and we've got a problem with the back still of Karis LeVert. So.
Right, okay. Yes.
So those two guys will probably miss the first bit of the season. I think it's an opportunity for Brogdon and Sabonis, and
they've also picked up a kid that played over here, little guard, played for the Melbourne squad, not the Melbourne, not the team that won the championship, but Southeast Melbourne. They had a little guard from Chicago that played really well in the summer, and I can't think of his name offhand, but he played for Southeast Melbourne. He got picked up by Indiana Pacers. Yep. He actually hit the winning shot in this big tournament that they have every summer called the basketball tournament, TBT, which is 64 teams. The winning team takes home $1 million. The rest of the team take home nothing. He hit the shot to win it. What's his name? Southeast.
I think we spoke about it. I'm sure.
I'll look him up real quick. I'm having a brain freeze right now. He's from Chicago, hometown. Little guard, sweet little game. Off the
I think could be Kiefer Sykes, is it?
Kiefer Sykes. That's him, Kiefer. My apologies, Kiefer, young fella.
Yeah.
My apologies for forgetting your name.
Yeah.
But he's picked up. Hopefully he'll get opportunity now with those injuries to show what he could do, because he's a slick little player. Yeah.
So I don't think they're going to be a threat, though. I don't think the Pacers, they need to do something. You never know, but I can't see it. The East is looking pretty tough.
Yeah.
I think teams like Chicago probably jump above Indiana.
Yeah. How about Kuzma with the Wizards?
Yeah, let's talk about Washington. It's hard to know where Washington are going to go, whether Bradley Beal's going to stay there or not.
That's right.
I think it's a tough one. I think he's a great player, probably a top 15 in the NBA, Bradley Beal.
Easily, yeah.
They've added Spencer Dinwiddie. They've got the table Montrezl Harrell. I think he's a good addition. I think he's going to have a big year, actually. I think Harrell's going to be a sixth man of the year candidate. I think he's going to come off the bench. Also like Daniel Gafford, I think he's going to be a sensational pivot as well. And where they lose Tom Bryant, I don't know. When he comes back, it's not for a while. But Kyle Kuzma, I don't. It's there's a good chance. There's a good chance it doesn't work out in Washington.
Yeah, so far not so good in the early stages. But we'll see. Maybe pick it up when the real games start in a week or so.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. With Hachimura out at the start of the season, I think he's going to have the opportunity to start and see how it goes.
What's happening with Hachimura?
Let me just give you an update on Hachimura.
Yeah. He's a guy you weren't really that fond of as well. I remember the last podcast. You weren't real high on him.
He's gonna miss the start of this personal reason. So
okay.
I think come November he'll probably be back anyway.
Oh, okay, so some personal stuff. Okay, that's all good.
So I don't know if he has to go back to Japan or what he had to do.
Yeah.
Find out. But
well, I know Japan is trying to become the next big basketball superpower. They've they're making a concerted effort to make a big push in becoming a really big basketball sort of country.
Okay.
Which is very interesting. Right now, baseball is their number one sport. We have quite a few good baseball players, so that was pretty interesting to see that the other day on the news. That they're interested in becoming the next basketball. Next to the NBA, they want to be the next biggest basketball destination. So they want to supplant China. In other words, they want to supplant China, which is the current second biggest league, in the world for basketball.
Yeah.
So watch that space.
Obviously, I don't know too many other Japanese players other than Hachimura that are in the NBA. So, but that's a fair point. They do. I mean, it's obviously an opportunity. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Have you had a look at? Have you seen any Cleveland? What do you think about Cleveland this year?
Don't know much about what they got going on there as well. So I'm not. Yeah.
So they traded to Chicago. They got Lauri Markkanen.
So he's not. He won't be that much of an impact. Yeah.
It's hard to know. I mean, he didn't play that well last year, but he's got the makings of being a good player. But will he come off the bench and be a sixth man or something? Cleveland also got Ricky Rubio to back up the two guards. They've got Sexton and
got the big fro that they got from the Nets.
Jared Allen.
Jared, he's even though he got he got dunked on the other day in the preseason. John Collins, Atlanta, had probably arguably one of the best.
That was I think it was a Sharif Cooper alley-oop to the Baptist. Yeah.
Yeah. That was nasty. It was super nasty. Yeah.
Man, so I think Evan Mobley. I think it looks like he's going to have he's got the makings of being a really good player. Was drafted at number 3?
Yeah. I've seen him some stuff. Yeah, I've seen him in
He'll
summer
start
league.
from day one, probably a power forward. So they're going to have
He looked really good in summer league. Yeah, summer league.
Mobley and Allen probably starting. So they've got a young team. We'll just see what they go. We don't expect them to do too much. But,
yeah. What is K Love? K Love, what does he fit in the whole picture?
He just comes in there and just he just helps. He's training them. I think. I don't think he's serious to ever. If he wanted to go to a contender, he could have gone to a contender somehow. I'm sure, but he seems to be content just to be there and just collect a paycheck. I don't know. It just
it sounds like
doesn't sound like he's that. You don't hear too much about him. So. I'm not too sure if there's any sort of future much with Kevin Love, but one of the other teams we're touching on, we're talking about that big dunk, the Atlanta Hawks. I think pretty deep team. I like their depth. I think Trey Young has got another gear. I think he can get just that little bit better again.
A little stronger as well too. I'd like to see him get a little more stronger as well too.
Yeah, a bit more stronger, a bit more, even more dangerous.
Like
if Bogdanovich and if Hunter and Reddish are all healthy, that's a lot of depth.
Yeah. Are you talking about Kevin Huter? Oh, Hunter as well?
Yeah, so Fanta Pants, Huter, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's 4 of those guys on the wing who can probably shoot threes and play defense, some of them. JC at power forward, and I really love Clint Capella at center.
Oh, yeah.
So what the makings of that?
Very handy.
Yeah, a really good team. So it makes it really tough in the East.
It used to be pretty good.
I don't know if there's any other teams in the East I want to talk about. I think that's
the Pistons. The Pistons, they got the first pick this year.
Yeah, so
Pistons, yeah.
Isaiah Stewart, Kelly Olynyk, Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant.
Who was their first pick?
We hasn't played any preseason games. Cade Cunningham. So
no games. He hasn't played.
He's just he might be okay for the opener in a week's time, but I don't think he's going to be right. Until then. So, but there's a chance he'll play from the first game, but we haven't had a chance to really see him in action.
A little bit of him during the summer league as well.
Yeah, summer league's a bit different. In the preseason, you get a little bit more of a vibe as to how these guys are going to go. Killian Hayes is one guy that we want to see sort of step up. I think he will start at point guard. So I don't know. I can't see Detroit doing too much unless Cade is like a LeBron superstar. I don't think it's not going to go anywhere.
LeBron James, those type of guys only come every few years.
That's exactly right. So I don't think he's. I don't expect to see Detroit do too much. I think we've spoken a little bit about Toronto. I don't think they're going to certainly do too much this year as well. So I think that's the East sort of taken care of.
Yeah.
Sure, just double check. And actually, there is another team. Boston. So I think
Boston,
Boston, they've forgotten about it because we don't see them. We don't really see them as contenders at the moment. I don't really. Tatum, Smart, and JB, Jaylen Brown.
Who had the post? Who's the post player?
They've got your boy Robert Williams.
I like him. Yeah.
And Al Horford as well, who tested positive for COVID today. Al Horford, but he's on the team as well. So Horford, Williams probably split time at center. Schroeder off.
That's not enough to deal with the Joel Embiid.
Schroeder off the bench, maybe. Some of these other guys like Pritchard and Naismith. So there's a few good players there, but I just want to see them win some games. I just want to see them, improve. And Tatum needs to take things to another level. I know he can score 50 points when he wants, but I think he's a great player. But
Jaylen Brown.
They can score. So it's going to be in Boston. That's going to be an interesting story. That is for sure.
Yeah.
Orlando, I think, Suggs, Jalen Suggs will start. He's the rookie. Apart from that, we don't know who's going to start anywhere in Orlando. It's sort of a bit of a guessing game.
Right.
People like Chimarakiki are out at the moment, and
they have another hold. They have a guy down there that's holding out as well for the vaccine holdout. What's the big guy?
Are you talking about our? Actually, it's pretty quiet. Actually, everyone, is it? What's the guy's name?
Yeah, I forget his name, man.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. He's
It's very quite intelligent young man. He's very well spoken.
Yeah, Jonathan Isaac. You're talking.
Yeah,
about.
very articulate. He actually articulated his case to not being vaccinated quite intelligently. Recently, I was reading up on it. I was watching an interview of him. I was like, wow, he's really, he's really convincing in what he's saying. I can't recall everything he was saying, but the way he was expressing himself was very, very articulate. Yeah, Jonathan Isaac. Yeah.
I think we probably best have a look at the West now. So we'll start with the best team out of the West last year, the Phoenix Suns. Haven't changed.
They have the biggest drama now that they're going through is not wanting to pay Ayton.
And to me, I don't understand it. I think Ayton's a great player. I think he's worthy.
It's the owner. He has a bad reputation. He's always had a bad reputation of being very stubborn, stingy, and all that. Sarver. I think his name is Sarver. The owner.
I suppose he wants to earn it this season, I guess, but that's a bit rough when other guys. I think he's already got to the point where he's pretty much earned it. I mean, he's dominant.
Yeah, he was in the same draft class with Doncic and Trey Young. Yeah, and they both been that maxed out, at 150 to 200 apiece. So he deserves to be in that category as well. He took his team all the way he helped take his team to the finals.
That's right, and he's a key factor. So
yeah,
Ayton, Booker and Paul. I think that's a good backcourt.
Oh yeah, there'll be a low.
Cameron Johnson and Mikal Bridges and Jay.
Mikal Bridges is the one I really, really like. He's gonna come back even better. He may make the All-Star team, I think, one day.
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges, yeah.
So I haven't changed too much, but we'll see how they go. It'd be interesting to see what happens with those guys. We've already sort of spoken about Utah. The Lakers. We sort of covered the Lakers.
Denver is.
Let's talk about Denver now. With Denver, there's a guy that he was the MVP last year. Was Nikola Jokic. He's absolutely, he had such an exceptional year.
He'll come back even better. He'll be even better this year. He got that type of mindset. Okay, we got.
There's always a joker in the pack. That was
a joke in the pack.
Yeah. So he's obviously needs to back up that year. We've got
what about injury? The guy that was injured, the superstar.
So he's not coming back till probably next year.
Okay, he's still in recovery.
ACL,
yeah.
That's Jamal Murray, but that means that there's a guy by the name of Michael Porter Jr. who's going to be a fairly big factor. I'm not sure if you know his nickname, but sometimes it gets called MAGA Porter Jr., as in Make America Great Again. So,
what they call him? I didn't know that. They call him MAGA.
MAGA Porter Jr. Yes.
MAGA Porter Jr. Okay.
There was a point where he didn't want to get he was sort of against the getting vaccinated and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but he went on and did it, got it done, huh?
Yeah, he did get it done. I think.
Gordon has to step it up too. The guy that got from Orlando, the dunk champ. He has to step his game up again too. Yeah. Yeah,
Aaron Gordon certainly got to step his game up. I think he will. I think he's a good. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how he plays out.
Right.
What we've seen with Denver, they've got a few guards there. They'll rotate around. The Monty Morris Will Barton.
Will Barton. Yeah, Will Barton's he'll be healthy this year. He'll make a big difference. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Will Barton. Also Campazzo.
Campazzo, right, the little fella.
Doja.
Argentinian.
And a guy that was drafted pretty late, but I think it was 26, I read, but he's been really big. One of the talking points in the preseason has been Bones Highland. So Bones Highland, look him up.
Heck of a name, though. Heck of a name, Bones.
Yeah.
Heck of a name.
Yeah, I've already forgotten his real name. So I think it's Deshaun Bones Highland or something like that.
He's a really slim guy? He's a slim?
He's a wing sort of, shooting guard sort of player.
Right.
But yeah, I think everyone's been talking about him as being a steal in the draft or something. So
steal, okay, wow, okay.
So look out for Bones. He might get some rotation minutes, I'd say, from the get-go.
Sure.
I haven't seen a lot of changes in Dallas. I think Dallas. I don't think there's a lot of change there in Dallas.
Change to Luka's bank account. That's about it. Yeah. people zeros added to it. Thanks to Mr. Cuban.
Yeah.
More power to him.
Yeah, no, he's with Porzingis. I think Porzingis is probably going to have a better year, but
I got to stay healthy, man.
I think it's with him. It's always flashes. With someone like Porzingis, can we see a 70 to 80 game season where it's every game?
But in his defense, he needs the ball though. Luka is very what they call ball dominant. Exactly. He needs the ball. He needs to get the ball a little bit more touches and all that, so he can do what he do. He's standing a lot of the offense. That's up to the coach too, coaching staff. And then offense, a lot of times he's just standing around, waiting, watching. They all watching Luka do his thing, do his dance and all that. He scores though, but they got to have a more equal opportunity offense if they want to go anywhere.
Yeah, they definitely do. They need
equal opportunity.
They need to do something to change. I mean,
that's the coach. It's up to the coach. It's up to the coaches. That they got Jason Kidd brought in. Didn't they bring him as a coach?
Yeah, he's the coach.
Yeah.
Okay, one team that I think will be more impressive than most people realize is the Memphis Grizzlies.
Okay.
So I'm not expecting.
Oh, one of my favorite young players is John Morant.
Yeah. So now John Morant. Now I was having a bit of a look at his with Jar. Do you know what his real name actually is? Do you know what his name?
Something starts with. I'm not sure. Yeah,
it's actually Demetrius. So that's why it's called the Tetris. Demetrius.
Oh, it's Demetrius. Demetrius Morant? Is that his name?
Demetrius.
Yeah. Well, in America we say Demetrius. We call it Demetrius.
Yeah, maybe so. But the nickname is Tetris. That's where that Tetris music comes from.
Tetris. Oh, the Tetris. That's okay. That was a bit obscure for the folks out there. That was pretty cool though. Yeah.
So John Morant. But yeah, I think I read that Dylan Brooks is out for about a month.
Right.
But I like the two guys that are probably going to start. I reckon the starting lineup will be Steven Adams.
Oh, Steven. Yeah, okay.
Jaren Jackson Jr. at power forward.
He has to be more consistent.
Desmond Bane.
Bane, he was tough. He was somebody I didn't know about a lot, but saw him watch. Sorry, he made a name for himself last year. I liked his game big time.
And Milton.
Who's that?
Milton.
Milton.
So that's D'Anthony Milton.
Milton. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Milton. Yeah, I remember him.
So that means Cole Anderson probably back to the bench, but probably will start if one of these guys misses. So. But I like that lineup. I've been watching that lineup in the preseason. Looks very dangerous. I think it's a better fit for a guy like Steven Adams in this place than it was in New Orleans. And we'll get to New Orleans in a minute. But I think this Steven Adams here, it makes sense. And I think whether you see a bounce back year for him, I'm not sure, but you'll see a better year from Steven Adams. I reckon.
Yeah. He gives you all he has. Really, he's limited what he can do, but he gives you all that he has.
And then off the bench, you've got guys like Xavier Tillman. You've also got Brandon Clark.
So he was hurt. Was he hurt last year?
You
Back
did.
off injury.
Well, I don't know if he got injured too much, but he just couldn't get into the rotation.
You couldn't get in, yeah. Okay.
Whereas a guy like Tyus Jones is a really good backup point guard as well.
Yeah.
So I think
Old Dookie.
I honestly think, and Zaire Williams he might get a few minutes. The rookie, I think he was drafted 11 or 10 or 12 or something. They're fairly high on him. Let's talk about the Pelicans. We have not seen Zion. We haven't seen Ingram in the preseason. Both these guys have been out. Zion, what about the story about Zion having that foot surgery? No one knew about it until 2 or 3 months after the fact.
Really, I didn't know about that either. Wow.
He hasn't played a game. He could be right to go at the start of the season. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Zion. I'm not sure about New Orleans. They've got a few changes there. They got rid of Lonzo. Lonzo Ball's gone. Eric Bledsoe.
I know who they brought in though.
They got Devontae Graham, who played for Charlotte last year.
Pretty small. Good shooter, but just small, very small.
Yeah, so they got him. They got he's not a great shooter. You've got Nickeil Alexander-Walker, or NAW.
He was starting to come on a little bit. Yeah, he'll be okay. Yeah.
So he'll start. They've still got Josh Hart. They've still got him. He's a very good rotational player. Can rebound for a guard. Just a great sort of player. But
big guys.
But also one of the steals in the draft, Trey Murphy, will start. Probably get starting minutes as well.
Is he big?
Sorry.
Is he a big? Who's the big guys? Who are the big guys?
Trey's he's a shooting guard, 6'7".
But
big guys. So they've got JV, Valanciunas at center.
Oh, Valanciunas. Okay, he's decent. Yeah.
So Valanciunas, when they're healthy, Valanciunas, Zion, and Ingram is a pretty good front court. They've got, I like Jackson Hayes as a backup.
Oh, Jackson, right? Jackson, exactly. He's got to come on. He had some off-season issues with him and his girl, and police being called to his house and all that type of stuff. So he had to get his head back straight. Hopefully, him and his girl gotten the issues together, and he'll be in the right frame of mind. Young fella, yeah. Jackson Hayes, yeah.
Also. Yes, Najee Marshall's another one, 6'7", small forward. So they'll be interesting. I don't know. I don't think they would make the playoffs. I can't see it happening. But
who's coaching them? Who's their coach now? They got rid of Van Gundy, didn't they?
Willie Green's the coach.
Yeah, Green. Yeah, he was assistant with Phoenix, wasn't he?
He was assistant. Yeah. So
Right.
Willie Green, he's the coach. That's the Pelicans.
Yeah.
A tough ask for them to make the playoffs. A team that won't make the playoffs. A lot of young talent coming through. The Houston Rockets.
They get the young Jalen Green. He's an emerging player. Jalen Green, second pick in the draft.
Yeah, so Jalen Green, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how he goes. I think he could be good, but I think, like a lot of rookies, I think there'll be some inconsistent games. That's just an observation. I like, and same with Kevin Porter Jr. I think he's going to have some good games as well.
He's going to be all right.
So Porter Jr. along with
what's the guy that played in Sprayer?
Jalen Green, that'll be the backcourt. I think Tate will start.
Tate, Deshaun Tate. He made a name for himself over there. Established himself in the league. Yeah.
Who's the other guy? So they're going to have Christian Wood, possibly.
Christian Wood, healthy. Christian Wood's good. Yeah. And they're trying to shop. They're trying to shop. They have an amicable parting in ways with the vet guard.
John Wall.
Wall. Yeah. Hopefully he can get with a contending team.
Yeah. So they've got rookie Alperen Şengün. I think that was a bit of a steal. A lot of people reckon. So he's sort of backing up the big man spots as well.
Cousins still with them? Cousins, is he still with them?
No. Boogie hasn't got a team, I don't think.
Oh, he's out. He's on the outer right now. Okay.
I think they played for the Clippers in the playoffs last year, if you remember, for a couple of games.
Oh, this is after his Houston stint with Wall. He was Houston.
Yeah.
So he went to the Clippers. And he's not on their roster.
He's not on any roster that I'm aware of. No.
Okay.
He hasn't got one.
Let's talk about the Clippers. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about the Clippers. We don't know Kawhi Leonard's going to be out till at least March. That's a long time.
Reggie Jackson, did he get the bag? Did he give him his money?
I think he could have got more.
He could have got more. Should have got more. Whatever he got, he should have got a lot of more, a lot of money. He should be one of the highest paid guys after what he did last year. He played really well.
I agree. I certainly agree with that. I think I've got him on one of my fantasy teams. I think he's going to have a good year.
Yeah.
But I do like some of these guys on this team. I've been watching a couple of games. I mean, there's been a couple of changes. I don't think Justice Winslow is going to get a lot of minutes. I think. I do like Terrence Mann. I think he's going to get 30 minutes a game.
Man's the guy who's going to be. I'm hoping he have a really, really big year. He has the potential to have a really good year.
Paul George will have a big year for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I want Zubac to have a big year.
Yeah.
I like.
Got one of the twins. They got one of the twins still there.
Yeah, Marcus Senior. Batum and Eric Bledsoe is probably get starting minutes as well.
Right. What's the other Moore's twin? Is he was with the Lakers? They got rid of him, didn't he?
Yeah, he's gone to Miami now. Actually,
he's in Miami. Okay. Man.
Yeah.
Him and his brother in two different East and West Coast. Yeah, they separated. Yeah, they wouldn't be happy about that.
No.
I think they share a bank account.
Yeah.
So I wonder how that works out.
I don't share a bank account with any of my brothers.
They're twins, man. They're all good. They're very, very in tune with one another.
I'm not sure. I think they'll go well. The Clippers, they'll probably go better than they should. To be honest, I think they will make the playoffs. I think they could be top 6. I don't know. I think the East seems a lot tougher than the West at the moment.
It does, yeah. What's Kawhi do back?
I think training March, so you only just make the playoffs if you only just get.
Oh, okay. Okay, he's still off for a while.
That's if everything goes to plan. It never usually does. Okay, let's have a look at Oklahoma City Thunder.
Lots of draft picks. A young fella from over here.
Yeah, now he
Giddy.
Played a couple of preseason games. I've been fairly impressed.
Yes, me too. I'm really happy for him. His dad, love watching communicate with his dad on social media and seeing how proud he is of his young fella. He just turned 19 the other day. Josh, his boy.
Good size. He's got a lot of good size and a lot of good flow. I think.
Does.
I think what we're going to get a lot out of is rebounds. I think we're going to get some rebounds.
Yeah.
I think he's going to
big hands. He has pretty big hands too for you.
I'm just trying to think. He might. He'd be in the top 2 players, I reckon, in rebounds on that team. I just can't see many other players that will out rebound him there.
Who's the rest of the roster? Who we got on the Austin roster?
Isaiah Roby maybe at center, so he could even get as many rebounds as him.
Isaiah Roby, I don't even know that name.
Yeah. So he's down. They've got Pokachevsky. They've got Derek Favors is in Oklahoma. And
Favors made over there. Utah let him go again, huh?
So he might lead the team in rebounds, but so I think Giddey will be second behind him. Dort, I don't think he's much of a rebounder, more of a defender.
Yeah, Dort's him and Jason Tate have very similar type games. A lot of hustle, a lot of give you a lot of effort guys. Yeah.
So I think they'll be fun to watch, but I think on the defensive end, I think they're going to get destroyed by pretty much most teams.
Right.
Unfortunately,
who's their star? They have no star, right?
Well, SGA.
No superstar.
Sorry.
They have no superstar either, do they?
The Oklahoma, I'd say that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's probably
he's the closest thing. Yeah, he's just coming in for them.
So he's probably the one that he's probably the one. The nickname Sega.
Sega, okay. Because of his is that a Sega game? Is that a sound effect from a Sega game? Yeah. I actually won a dunk competition in '93 here in down in Sydney. It was a Sega slam dunk competition, and I won that competition. And I was given along with the money and crystal vase and all that. I was given a Sega
Yep.
game console, and promptly gave it away because I never got into video games. I don't play video games and all that. I read books, or no, I just read books. Forget the video games. It's not my thing. Yeah. But shout out to Sega anyway for that competition back in the day. Yeah. The Sega or Sega? Yeah, Sega or Sega.
Yeah. That's all good. Yes. I remember I would have had one when I was a kid, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We've also got Teo Maladon. He's another guy I forgot about, but anyway, so that's Oklahoma City. The San Antonio Spurs.
They've signed our big guy from down in Melbourne, Jock Landale. He'll be the backup center for that team.
I don't know if I've seen him playing. Has he played any minutes yet? I haven't.
Yeah, he's got a few minutes. He's been in some decent minutes in the preseason. Yeah.
Okay, I have to have a look at that.
He and Porto, whatever his name, Porto.
Jakob Poeltl will be the center.
Poeltl, yeah. The two of them are sort of battling out for minutes in the post, yeah.
And Drew Eubanks is the other guy that's a center that is also competing for minutes there as well.
Who's the third guy?
Drew Eubanks.
Okay, I'm not familiar with him, yeah.
They've got one of the guys that you like, Keldon Johnson.
Keldon's nice. Yeah, he played on the national team, USA team.
So he's likely to have a breakout year. DeJounte Murray.
He's pretty smooth. Yeah.
So nickname for him, Dijon Mustard.
Dijon Mustard is his nickname.
Dijon.
You nickname him that, or that's what he's already had that?
I do a bit of research and I try to come up with his nickname.
Dijon Mustard. A lot of mustard. That's cool.
Dijon, Murray, Mustard.
Very French.
Derek White. I think he's a good player. I think he's
solid. He's solid, very solid. Yeah.
But I hope that Devin Vassell has a good year. I've sort of invested a bit of. He's in a couple of fantasy teams, and I'm trying to get. I hope that Devin Vassell. He's one of these guys. Picked 11 in the draft the previous year, and I just hope he can get some minutes and get some action as well. So I don't expect the Spurs to do much. I don't expect them to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But
how much longer does Pop have left?
I don't know. It's hard to know, isn't it?
Yeah, hard to say. Yeah.
What else is there? So we're probably going to wrap this up. We've probably been going an hour actually, but
Golden State, Portland, Sacramento.
Yeah, let's go through. We've spoken a little bit about Golden State. I think they'll do pretty well.
Yeah,
Portland is one of those teams. We don't know what's going to happen with these guys. They don't seem to change too much. You've got Damian Lillard. You've got CJ McCollum.
Right.
Yusuf Nurkic hopefully can stay healthy.
What about Collins? Is he back? They missed him a big time. Collins, big guy, got hurt.
He's in San Antonio now.
No, I'm thinking about they had a Collins for Portland. I'm pretty sure it was Collins.
Is that Collins has gone to Spurs?
Oh, has he? Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah.
But he hasn't played for.
Is he healthy? He's healthy now, huh?
I don't know. I'm not sure. It's a hard one. He's been out for a long time.
Yeah.
But Portland have got Norman Powell, Rocco or Robert Covington.
Covington, yeah.
They picked up Larry Nance Jr.
Okay, I was wondering about him. I was thinking about him the other day.
And a guy that was drafted pretty high, Dennis Smith Jr. as well. Yeah. So I'm not sure. I don't expect them to do too much. To be honest, I'm not sure whether Damian Lillard stays there or not. There's a good chance he could get traded somehow.
Depends on how they start off. Yeah.
Or CJ McCollum, they could get traded as well. So certainly a concern. The Minnesota Timberwolves, not a lot of change there. You've got Karl Anthony Towns, one of the best in the NBA, but the supporting cast, Anthony Edwards, I think he's going to have a good year. I think he finished off the year really, really good last year, didn't he?
Yeah. D'Angelo Russell.
D'Angelo Russell, he's definitely one to watch, I think, down the track.
Yeah.
D'Angelo. Yeah, D'Angelo Russell.
All right.
Yeah, Jaden
That's
McDaniels, I think he's one to watch. I think he's going to get starting minutes at power forward as well.
Yeah.
Malik Beasley. So, yeah, I'm not expecting much of an increase there.
No. Sacramento.
Yeah, let's have a look at the Kings before we Sacramento. Yeah, obviously
Fox. Aaron Fox. He's always going to bring it.
He's the rave. He's their best player at the moment. Yep. But I like some of the makings on the team are pretty good. I like Rashawn Holmes, but we'll see hopefully has another good year. We've got Tyrese Halliburton.
I'm about to say Halliburton is another one.
I think the rookie will have a big impact. I think Davion Mitchell will have a big impact.
Okay.
He's getting a lot of minutes in the preseason.
Oh, is he a kid from Baylor?
Yeah, he's the kid from Baylor. Yep.
Yeah, he's a defensive. They call him the sheriff or something like that. He's a lockdown defender. Yes, he should be pretty good.
One of these guys that you always have a bad day if he's guarding you or something.
Right. Yeah.
Hopefully one day Marvin Bagley will work out what he's doing. You've got to remember he was the number 2 pick in that same draft with Ayton and Doncic.
Oh, right. Okay.
Been a bit of a bust so far. Harrison Barnes, he's still there, getting $20 million a year.
Uh-huh.
Buddy Hield, what are they going to do with Budrick?
That's good question. He's a knockdown shooter though. He's a valuable guy.
He's going to make $23 million this year.
Yeah, but he's a consistent knockdown shooter though. You know what you're going to get out of him.
I've got Tristan Thompson as well, a bit of a backup there. Power forward.
Yeah, Tristan's close to his Kardashian girl, huh? He's in California now.
I think they're on good terms, from what I understand. So he's on about $10 million a year. So that's the Kings. I'm not expecting too much from the Kings. Yeah. I think I've covered every team, have I?
We have. We've covered everybody. Yeah. We haven't missed a beat.
All right. We've done well for this hour, I'll tell you, man. So anything else that you wanted to sort of cover? I've got so we're 1 week away from the season starting. I think that was fun when we did that fantasy basketball draft for our team a couple of weeks ago. I think that was quite fun, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was fun, yeah. But another disappointing thing that just happened in the NBA was the 20 or so former players who got caught up in that scandal with the Medicare. We kept Medicare system for the retired players over there. These guys were rorting the system and literally, relatively small money as well too, compared to I think the combined earnings of those 20 plus players was like $500 million during their career.
Yeah,
and the money that they took by claiming for false like dental and medical stuff, they were making false invoices. Was combined $2.4 million. One of the guys was Tony Allen, who played for Memphis. He's one of the heart and souls of that team during that grit grind era. And he and his wife were, she was the only wife that was actually indicted, convicted for this fraud as well, which was really bad. But and they were like a week away from retiring his jersey as well too in Memphis. They're probably not going to go ahead with that because he's he sort of put a stain on his name, which is really unfortunate because he's a guy that Tony Allen was the guy that Kobe and Kevin Durant both, without hesitation, named as the toughest guy they ever had to play against. He played them defensively the best of anybody.
Yeah, he was definitely a great defender.
Yeah.
So I think we just have to wrap things up. What we'll have to do, Andre, I think in a month's time we'll do another one and we'll talk a bit more about the NBL because we should be able to get another one in before the NBL season starts.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds like
we covered quite a lot today. I really look forward to this NBA season. I think it's going to be fantastic.
We will.
It's been really good to catch up with you.
Same here. Thank you to everybody out there who's watching the podcast as well too. We appreciate your viewership. Thank you.
No worries. What we might do, I might just stop it before we and have just a very quick word off the air. And but anyway, thanks very much. That's been the podcast episode number 8 of More Than a Game. Thank you very much. What have you got there? What's that?
Just a little case with a couple basketballs in it. Yeah.
Okay, that looks cool, man. Really.
Everything I do has to do with my basketball. Still the love for the game. It's the love for the game. Yeah.
I love the game.
Thank you too, man. Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
That's the love of the game.
All right.
More than a game. It will always be about more than
Like
basketball.
Okay.